Announcing the first Notorious Needle Stitch Along, We Believe. Hey there, this is Sarah with the Notorious Needle, and I want to empower you to break the rules of conventional cross stitch so you can make whatever you want. The pre-sale for the We Believe Stitch Along is open now. The first release will be February 19th. The We Believe Stitch Along is made up of a collection of core human values stitched in a gorgeous rainbow of colors, and was inspired by you, powerful agents of change, and by your peaceful protest signs over these last 4+ years. Let's bring in a new wave of optimism and positivity to 2021. There will be a total of 10 parts, each part released every 2 weeks. So every other Friday, you'll get a brand new part of this inspiring resistance-themed cross-stitch pattern emailed to you as a digital download PDF file for you to start stitching right away. As a reward for jumping in now, you can get in at 25% off, but the price goes up on February 19th, which is the date of the first release. You may have been stitching for a long time now, or maybe you've heard about stitch-alongs from Flosstube or Facebook groups. But if you're new to stitching, you may be wondering just what is a stitch-along. Basically, a stitch-along is a big piece that has been broken up into smaller pieces. And each piece is released one at a time over a period of time. So instead of this giant cross stitch that you end up stitching all by yourself, you get it broken down into smaller bits, and you get to join an amazing community all stitching the same thing, mostly at the same time. But don't worry, there's no rush, you can go at your own pace. You would be stitching the We Believe Stitch Along with cross stitchers from all over in the Notorious Needle Facebook group. And we'll be sharing pictures of our progress, giving tips, or even making modifications to the pattern we're stitching. I'll be there too, so don't worry if you're new and you need a little bit of guidance as we go through the stitch along. If you have any questions, you can always shoot me a message or an email. I do have a sneak peek for you of the We Believe Stitch Along. The first piece to be released says We Believe in these bright orange letters with a small arrow motif underneath. This part appears at the center of the larger pattern. I chose the color orange for its excitement and boldness to kick off the cell. The bottom half of each letter is offset by the more passionate burnt orange, like the glowing embers of a flame that will never be extinguished. There are a total of 20 gorgeous colors used in the We Believe Stitch Along color palette. These bright, festive hues symbolize the optimism that the start of 2021 has brought, with the hope that we continue to see positive change in the world. In addition to the center part of the We Believe cell, the first release of the pattern will also include the entire border. So you can stitch that ahead of time if you want, or if you don't like starting in the center of your pattern, you can start anywhere along the border. After the first part, 9 more parts will be released, one every 2 weeks. Each part of the pattern can also be framed and stitched individually, so you are actually getting 10 patterns in one. All of the parts have been test stitched by me, so you know you're getting a pattern that's fun and easy to stitch up. Each part will include a photo of the completed section, pattern specs, multi-page and single-page patterns in color, multi-page and single-page patterns in black and white, the page map, floss color key with skein length estimates for each color, and a thread sorter. Since this is a mystery stitch along, the pictures of the parts that haven't been completed yet will be a little bit blurred out, but this is on purpose because I don't want to ruin the surprise. As I mentioned before, the pre-sale for the We Believe Stitch Along is open now, and the first release will be February 19th. Here are the release dates for the rest of the parts of the pattern. We will be stitching over 20 weeks, with the last release scheduled for June 29th, and the stitch along will last until July 9th. If you're joining us a little late, don't worry. All the patterns that have already been released will be available to you all at once. And while the stitch along officially ends July 9th, the patterns will continue to be available in the shop as the full stitch along pattern or as individual patterns. And you'll still be able to join the Facebook group so you can share and ask questions. Join now so you have time to find the perfect fabric and collect all the flosses so you can get stitching on day one. Thanks for watching this video to the end. To celebrate the first Notorious Needle Stitch Along, I'm giving away a free copy of the We Believe Sal. Just use hashtag WeBelieveSal in a sentence in the comments below this YouTube video. Next week, I will choose a random winner. And if you happen to have picked up a copy of the Stitch Along already, no worries. You can choose any 2 patterns out of the shop. See you in the Facebook group. Stitch on!